Front now, Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean. She is a member of the House Appropriations Committee. Congresswoman, you're hearing your colleagues across the aisle, their reservations about this. Are you holding out hope that this bill may not pass the House, given that we're also hearing from the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, his assessment it may be a challenge, and Lindsey Graham saying he isn't sure the votes will be there?
Good to be with you, Brianna. And yes, of course, I hold out hope that Republican members of the House will do their job and recognize that there is no reason to cast a vote for this bill. I wanted to show it to you, and I have literally one question. Why would anybody vote for this bill? This is what I've been saying all week long, all weekend long. How could anybody, Democrat or Republican, vote for this bill? By the way, this is only half of the bill. We printed it out. The biggest pieces in it: taking away health care for 17 million Americans, taking 42 million Americans food literally off their tables, out of children's mouths, blowing up the deficit. I thought the Republicans were all about reducing the deficit. I want to reduce the deficit. This blows up the deficit, all in service of tax breaks for the very, very wealthiest. Also, it will cost jobs. I'm from Pennsylvania. This is going to cost tens of thousands of jobs, productivity, economic growth right in Pennsylvania. So I ask this question: why would anyone vote for this big, bad, ugly bill?
You just got out of a caucus meeting with your fellow Democrats. Assuming, though, that this does make it through the House, this bill, what are you all going to do to capitalize on a political vulnerability that the polls do reveal? Did you talk about that?
Well, let me let you know, Mother Nature has a funny way of dealing with all of us in a very nonpartisan way. You're going to see that an awful lot of the Democrats and Republicans are still in transit, different kinds of weather problems, getting people here, whether it's by airports or trains and the rest. So the caucus meeting is still ongoing. The rules meeting is still ongoing. The ranking members have completed their work in front of rules. They're now down at the caucus briefing. So we're going to fight, and we're going to message. Democrats aren't always known for a clear message, but this one is mighty clear. This is a bill that will hurt every single district. It will hurt every single constituent or constituency within these districts. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I think about it in terms of my own district, the hundreds or tens of thousands of folks who use Medicare because they are seniors, they are disabled, they are children. There are people who need these things. People will lose their health care. This administration has proven itself to be incompetent, corrupt, and cruel. This big, bad, ugly bill is full of all of that: incompetence, corruption, and cruelty. And I guess cruelty is the point with this group. I hope and I pray and I beg my Republican members in the House to stand up, to have a spine, to look us in the eye and say, of course I can't do this to my constituents, taking health care away from them, taking food away from them, closing rural hospitals, all at the service of the very wealthy and making sure those tax cuts continue. I ask them to please vote their conscience, because when they do, their vote will be no.
Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, the crucial 50th vote on this bill, but after she said it isn't a perfect bill by any stretch, she said we're not there yet. Here's an exchange she had with NBC's Ryan Nobles.
Senator Paul said that that your vote was a bailout for Alaska at the expense of the rest of the country.
Oh my God.
That's what Senator Paul said.
My question was easy. Senator, we've got the
I didn't say it, ma'am. I'm just asking for your response.
My response is I have an obligation to the people of the state of Alaska. Do I like this bill? No, because I tried to take care of Alaska's interests.
I am curious what you think of some of the significant carve-outs that she secured for Alaska to get that essential vote on board, including an exemption for states with high error rates on paying out food assistance benefits.
Honest to God, Brianna, I can't tell you how disappointed I am. You saw how close this vote was. They had to pull in J.D. Vance because it was a tie vote. What I would ask Senator Murkowski and every senator, do your job. You saw that she said shortly after that she hopes the House will fix it or do better and send it back. Do your job at the Senate level. Please, Republican members of the Senate, don't send us a flawed bill because you cut yourself some sort of a deal. I did not see the workings of her deal or what she was able to protect for Alaska. But how do you do it? Where's the John McCain of the day who says, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just serve myself or my state. I'm going to make sure we do the right thing by the entire country. When they tried to have him vote to undo the Affordable Care Act, taking health care away from millions. This is something that many of these Republicans have wished for a very long time. Cruelty, harm to their very constituents. You asked me and I failed to answer you. Will we use this in future campaigns? You better believe it. These people are going to own these votes. And I'm thinking of the Pennsylvania Republicans. I'm watching to see how they vote on this big, ugly bill that will hurt health care, that will hurt our children, that will hurt our seniors, that will blow up our deficit for generations to come.
Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, thank you for taking the time for us tonight.
Thank you, Brianna.